need to go.
No, I don't. I'm waiting on my son.
Right,
He's my ride back to Wilson.
Leave. Leave.
That's before. Stay. Hey,
You just told him to leave. Didn't he just say leave twice? Now he's saying stay?
Yeah. You ain't gotta cry no more. I promise that I got you when I saw my soul. Double checking for the weakest, man, that's all I know. I remember bagging up at that corner store, but now we blowing smoke. And that's all I know. Yeah, at that PLO.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Top BUXAPLENTY here, checking in with the BUXAPLENTY squad. I just got done recording another video. I don't really like that video, so I just found another one, and we're gonna react to this one. The other one is like some dash cam crash, whatever. I don't know which one I'm gonna drop first, you feel me? But they both gonna be dropped, and y'all gonna have two videos. I don't know if the same day. I don't know if it's gonna be the next day, depending on how I feel about the edit. Y'all drop that hashtag BUXAPLENTY squad down in the comments if you rock with me. The video I'm bringing you guys today, we got corrupt cops get sued after a highly illegal arrest. So like I said, these cops been moving illegally after a pandemic. So we about to see what's going on. Like, they got sued. So if a cop gets sued, that means it's something big. Like, see what's going on. Audit the audit. I know some of y'all told me y'all don't really like his videos because he be like basically justifying the cop sometimes, but you feel me? I don't know. Sometimes I be feeling like his opinions is nice. Like he be weighing it out like the way he is right there. You feel me? He be weighing it out, and I feel like he be fair on both sides when he judging everything.
Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers obstructing, eluding, and excessive force, and is brought to us by Law and Crime Network's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On November 29th, 2022, 48-year-old Kenneth Espinosa was driving in Trinidad, Colorado, when his son, Nathaniel Espinosa, who was driving a different vehicle, was pulled over by Deputy Mikhail Noel of the Los Animas County Sheriff's Office for an alleged traffic violation. Mr. Espinosa circled the block before parking approximately 75 feet behind Deputy Noel's patrol vehicle to wait for his son. As Mr. Espinosa waited and observed the traffic stop from this distance, Lieutenant Henry Trujillo arrived to assist in the traffic stop and made contact with Mr. Espinosa, who was still in his truck.
He rolled his window up.
You need to be
I hate he rolled his window up as soon as the cop comes.
behind this traffic stop?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
My son right there. He was following me to pull.
Okay, he's on a traffic stop, so you don't need to be behind it.
So you gotta be.
Wait, time out. Wait, time out. How did he get behind him again? So it's a traffic stop, and he ended up behind the cop. Who fault is it really? Who fault is it really? All right, so did he like back up, go around the cop? I'm so confused. Like,
I'm not
that's
being mean. We just don't like when people pull in behind us.
I don't like them to kill myself.
That's what we get paid to do, to pull people over.
But you don't get paid to be.
And you don't
Wait.
either, okay?
Let's run that back because I'm so confused on how did he get behind him. So if they about to do a traffic stop and the guy pulled behind him, how did he get behind him? And how are they doing a traffic stop if he's behind him? I'm so confused right now. Somebody explain this to me down in the comments.
I don't like them.
What?
That's what we get paid to do, to pull people over.
But you don't get paid to be.
And you don't either, okay? I don't got to put up with your okay? I asked you a simple question, okay?
Hold on, man.
In fact, you need to leave now or you're going to get charged. It's that easy.
So he needs to leave past the cop so the cop can pull him over. I'm so confused.
I'm recording too. I asked you a simple question. If you have attitude, that's your problem, okay?
Pounding on my door.
Yeah, you saw me and you rolled your window up when I came. Hold on a second, okay?
No.
You rolled your window up when I walked up, okay? So I knocked on your window, okay? You are not a cop. You don't need to be behind me, okay? So you need to leave right now.
I don't need to do anything.
You got 5 seconds to leave, okay? There's no reason for you to be behind this traffic stop. No reason, okay?
Why does it matter that he's behind a traffic stop? Like, I don't, like, he's not close to the cop. Like, he got distance between the cop. Like, why does it matter? So he's gonna get in trouble for being behind a cop. So I'm so confused. Like, so he's behind a traffic stop. So there's a traffic stop happening in front of him. He pulled over behind a cop. He got his distance between, and he said he's waiting for his son or whatever. So I'm so confused on what is the issue. Like, what did he do wrong? I don't see no crime that has been committed, and I ain't hear no crime that he has committed. But
public
no reason, okay?
It's not a public
no
street.
reason.
Do I not pay
Okay,
taxes?
do you always stop behind cops when they pull people over?
I ain't stopped right behind him.
Okay, you don't need to be here.
You
don't need to be here, okay? You need to go.
No, I don't. I'm waiting on my son.
All right,
He's
fine.
right back.
Lieutenant Trujillo orders Mr. Espinosa to leave.
so I'm guessing that basically the person, they probably already explained this in the beginning. I probably heard it, but I didn't. You feel me? I'm a little smack right now. But so basically, I think the person that is pulled over by the cop is his son. And then he's behind the cop. He got distance between the cop, you feel me? Like more distance between the way how the cop is behind him. And he's waiting for his son to whatever, he get the ticket or whatever, and then they go about their day, I'm guessing. So it's two cars, unless he's actually saying he's waiting for his son to come out that house.
Leave the traffic stop and threatens to charge him if he does not comply, although he
I'm so
does not
confused,
say
though.
what crime he would be charged with, and Mr. Espinosa refuses to leave. Generally, it is legal for an individual to stop and observe a traffic stop, provided that they
Really?
are not violating any parking laws, interrupting the normal flow of traffic, or obstructing law enforcement. Near the beginning of his interaction with Lieutenant
So that means he's not, well, it's illegal if you are, like he said, like causing traffic, obstructing. He's not doing none of that. He's out the way. I don't think no traffic is being stopped, and it seems like traffic is still flowing, so I'm confused on what's going on.
Lieutenant Trujillo, Mr. Espinosa pressed the screen of his cell phone several times and stated that he was recording. And although it is unclear from the body camera footage whether he was already recording the traffic stop or if he began to record when Lieutenant Trujillo approached his vehicle, according to a federal lawsuit Mr. Espinosa filed regarding this encounter, he was observing and recording the traffic stop when Lieutenant Trujillo first walked up to him. The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction.
So his son is involved, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Like he said, like if you're not blocking, he's not blocking traffic. He pulled over. He's recording from a distance. He's not up on the cops, not trying to sneak on the cops, make the cops feel unsafe. He's recording from a distance, and he's waiting for his son.
Over Colorado, recently recognized in the 2022 case of Irizarry versus Yahia that the First Amendment protects the right to film police officers performing their duties, subject to reasonable time,
Freedom of
place, and manner
press.
restrictions, and concluded that, now quoting, a peaceful recording of a traffic stop in a public space that does not interfere with the police officer's performance of their duties is not reasonably subject to limitation. Therefore, it is likely that a court would conclude that Mr. Espinosa was within his First Amendment rights to record the traffic stop, as long as he did not
It was mad distance between them cops.
not interfere with or obstruct the officer's performance of their duties. Under Section 18-8-104 of the Colorado Revised Statutes, a person commits the offense of obstructing a peace officer when, quote, by using or threatening to use violence, force, physical interference, or an obstacle, such person knowingly obstructs, impairs, or hinders the enforcement of the penal law or the preservation of the peace by a peace officer. In the 2005 case of Dempsey versus People, the Colorado Supreme Court explained that under this statute, although, quote, the obstacle or physical interference may not be merely verbal opposition, a combination of statements and acts by the defendant, including interposition of an obstacle, can form the crime of obstruction, provided that the conduct is of sufficient magnitude.
But what do they mean by obstacle? Like, I gotta give me an example. Like, is there a specific example of what can these obstacles be? You know what I mean? Like,
Actually obstruct, impair, or hinder enforcement of the officer's duty. Here, a court could find that Mr. Espinosa's refusal to leave was insufficient to support an obstruction conviction, as it appears he did not cause a physical interference that obstructed, impaired, or hindered the traffic stop and was exercising his First Amendment rights to film law enforcement. However, it is also possible that a court would determine that Mr. Espinosa violated the obstruction statute by refusing to obey Lieutenant Trujillo's order to.
but that cop has nothing to do with it. He was coming for backup. He could have went in front of him and minded his business. Maybe that guy was just chilling, you feel me? Or unless the cop seen both of these drivers and then they pulled the first one over. And that's the reason how they know they're together. But other than that, it's like, yo, what's the problem? Like, why cops make everything a problem? Like, they don't de-escalate situations. They just always escalate and stuff.
to leave
I'm
the
so
traffic
confused.
stop, provided that it also concluded that this order was lawful.
I ain't stopped right behind him.
Okay, you don't need to be here.
I ain't
You don't
stopped
need
right
to be
behind
here,
him,
okay?
sir.
You need to go.
No, I don't. I'm waiting on my son.
All right,
He's
fine.
my ride back to Wilson.
Leave. Leave. That's before. Stay. Hey,
You just told him to leave. Then he just say leave twice. Now he's saying stay.
stop. Get out the car. Get out the car. Get out the car.
You just told him, the other officer just told him to leave multiple times. You just told him to leave. Now you telling him to stay when he leaves. I'm so confused.
What are you gonna do? You gonna
SD4, give me the radio.
get out the car! Get out the car!
Stop it now!
Get out the car! Get out the car!
He getting it out the street.
Stop it now!
Alright.
Get out of the car! Now! What the hell do you think you're doing?
I ain't doing anything.
Okay. Now you're on a traffic stop and you're trying to drive away?
Get out the car! Call state. Get out the
Control has nothing to do with anything. Okay, they don't have jurisdiction over it. Get out of the car now. No, I got my truck. Don't give
You know, if that was one of my people, it'd have been over, but
Clear the car!
hey,
Seatbelt is off.
this is crazy though.
Pull away from me.
I'm not.
You're gonna get lit up.
I'm not.
Okay, you're gonna get
You're
lit up.
breaking my arm, man. Hold on, I'm gonna get out. Get out the car. I'm complying. Get out the car.
How he gonna get out the car if you holding his arm? You pulling his arm out the door. How he gonna open the door if you pulling his arm?
Can you hold on?
How retarded? Like, what's going on?
Get out.
Hold on.
Now.
I'm getting out. I'm not.
You're under arrest.
I'm not.
Get out. Turn around and face the truck. You're under arrest.
Okay, guys.
Put your hands behind your back.
Down.
Put your hands behind your back.
The deputies
Bro, the
order
guy's
Mr.
calm.
Espinosa to leave, but when he starts to pull away, they point their tasers at him and start screaming at him to get out of the vehicle. And
I'm so
Mr.
confused.
Espinosa stops his truck after pulling back over to the side of the road. Section 42-4-1413 of the Colorado Revised Statutes provides that, quote, any operator of a motor
But they did not say, all right, you are being detained now. Oh, this is a traffic stop. They did not initiate anything after, like, before that. So, like, he told him to leave and he left. So, like, obviously, I just broke the law because y'all did not initiate that he was detained, that he could not drive. He have to step out the car or any of that.
motor vehicle who the officer has reasonable grounds to believe has violated a state law or municipal ordinance, who has received a visual or audible signal, such as a red light or a siren from a police officer driving a marked vehicle, directing the operator to bring the operator's vehicle to a stop, and who willfully increases his or her speed or extinguishes his or her lights in an attempt to elude such police officer, or willfully attempts in any other manner to elude or does elude such police officer, commits a Class 2 misdemeanor traffic offense. Additionally, Section 18-9-116.5 of the Colorado Revised Statute states that, quote, any person who, while operating a motor vehicle, knowingly eludes or attempts to elude a peace officer also operating a motor vehicle, and who knows or reasonably should know that he or she is being pursued by said peace officer, and who operates his or her vehicle in a reckless manner, commits vehicular eluding. Now, because both of these statutes
I ain't gonna lie though. He kind of do fall under that. Yeah, he did try to leave, but he knew it was coming. You feel me? Like, he done got them angry, and he already knew that he was about to get pulled over. He was about to get in trouble, and then he tried to leave at the last minute. You feel me? Like, he had that last minute. Like I said, nobody initiated anything, but he kind of knew that. He falls under though. I feel like it's a fight. You feel me? Like, good lawyers could fight that, to be honest.
statutes require that an officer be operating a motor vehicle for an individual to be guilty of eluding.
But he gotta have the officer behind him have to have his lights on and stuff, right? You feel me? They told him to leave though, so that was the orders from the jump. He told him to leave. He was trying to leave, and y'all pull out your guns or whatever, tasers.
It is highly unlikely that a court would find Mr. Espinosa's conduct was illegal. However, even if these statutes did apply, as the Colorado Court of Appeals explained in the 2020 case of People versus Sims, an individual is not guilty of eluding any time a person does not immediately stop when a police car directs him or her to do so. And the statute requires that the driver act, quote unquote, willfully attempting to elude the police officer, such as when a driver continues driving for miles without pulling over, despite being pursued by police vehicles with activated lights and sirens. Because Mr. Espinosa appeared to be attempting to comply with the deputy's orders to stop by pulling over, and only started driving in the first place because he was ordered to leave the traffic stop, it is likely that a court would conclude that he was not guilty of eluding.
Like, how you grab the doorknob? Now, what if you'd have got dragged by the truck? And then it would have been a whole different story for that guy. Like, how you tell him to leave? I'm so confused. You told him to leave twice, and then you pull out your gun and tell him to wait.
The eluding statutes applied to this situation.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm going.
Put your hands
You better not tase him.
Get back. Get back.
Hey, he's recording this case. That's fine. He can record all he wants. This is.
Question is though, the person that got pulled over by the first cop, his son or whatever, what happened to his son? Like, I don't see his car no more.
Okay, guys. You guys.
So I'm guessing they got done with the son, and they told the son like, you gotta go. So when the guy tried to leave now, it's a problem because they let his son go. So they knew they were like, yeah, we could pick on him now. He wasn't trying to leave when his son was pulled over.
You do what you're told, all right? You think it's okay just to roll up on traffic stops and not do what you're told? Now you go to jail.
That's all right.
You go to jail.
Turn around and face the traffic.
I'm already cuffed. Your dad got listed. If he listed, he wouldn't get manhandled.
Now let's
Don't
go.
move.
Let's go.
That's great.
How y'all both telling him 2 orders? Y'all fighting against each other right now. He told him, let's go. The other one telling him, don't move. Look at them fighting each other. He's getting tugged back right now. Like, y'all need to communicate better. This is the issue because one offered to something to leave, the other one saying stay. Like, what's going on?
You need to stay around.
Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in when you. I'm gonna tase you. Get in the car. Get
He's handcuffed. He's handcuffed. There's no need for no aggressive force.
Don't do that, man. I'm gonna get you out. I'm gonna pat search you. Now get out.
I got my wallet.
Get out now.
Bro, what's up with them saying one order and then doing something else? What was the point of paying him in the car then? I should have checked him before he even got in the car. Yo, bro. Why the video not starting? See, like, what's going on, bro? Alright, we back. I don't know what was going on. Video wasn't even started.
Get out now.
And they threw him to the floor?
Okay, you're gonna do what you're told to do, and that's it.
Stand up.
Come on, guys. This is excessive. Come
He's
on.
bleeding from his mouth? Or am I bugging?
Man,
Well, quit acting like an idiot.
I ain't acting like nothing. I got a taser piece in my lip. You guys shot me right in the face.
Mr.
Wow.
Espinosa reveals that he was tased while the deputies were putting him in the backseat of the patrol vehicle.
Wow.
And although it is not apparent in the body camera footage, Mr.
They try to edit the body footage out or something? Like, how we didn't see that part?
Espinosa alleged in his lawsuit that he was also tased while he was attempting to put his vehicle in park after the officers ordered him to stop. Section 18-1-707 of the Colorado
crazy.
Revised Statute states that, quote, peace officers, in carrying out their duties, shall apply non-violent means when possible before resorting to the use of physical force. A
Facts.
peace officer may use physical force only if non-violent means would be ineffective in effecting an arrest, preventing an escape, or preventing an imminent threat of injury to the peace officer or another person. Additionally, according to Mr. Espinosa's lawsuit, the Los Animas County Sheriff's Office's so-called less lethal electrical control devices policy prohibits deputies from using their tasers against a subject who is, quote, in a restraint device and is only offering verbal non-compliance or passive resistance.
So they done used the taser while he was inside handcuffs.
Now, while this policy does provide exceptions permitting a restrained person to be tased, it defines them as quote-unquote rare situations where, quote, the authorizing supervisor must be able to list and describe the specific factors that led him or her to conclude that the use of a taser on the individual was a safer alternative to other available and practical options. The taser policy further prohibits a deputy from using a taser against a person without exception in circumstances where, quote, the person is fleeing and the deputy does not have sufficient information to believe that the person is a danger to themselves or others. Or, now quoting again, the subject is in a moving vehicle. It should be noted that these excerpts from Los Animas County policies were obtained from the complaint filed in Mr. Espinosa's lawsuit, and because the Sheriff's Office has not made its policies publicly available, I have not reviewed the policies in their entirety. However, assuming that the policies were completely and accurately represented in the complaint, because Mr. Espinosa was allegedly tased while attempting to comply with the officer's commands, both while he was in handcuffs and
Nah, yeah, being tased and handcuffs and the lip is crazy.
in a moving
Like, what?
vehicle, and Lieutenant Trujillo and Deputy Noel had no apparent reason to believe that he was a danger to anyone, it is likely that a court would find
sheriff.
the deputies violated both Colorado state law and the Los Animas taser use policy. In addition to these local guidelines, the Supreme Court identified factors for determining the constitutional reasonableness of a use of force in the 1989 case of Graham versus Connor, where it held that lower courts should consider the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect posed an immediate threat, and whether the suspect was actively resisting or trying to evade arrest by flight. In this situation, at worst, Mr. Espinosa was suspected of refusing to leave a traffic stop he was not interfering with, a relatively minor and non-violent offense. Furthermore, although the officers may contend that Mr. Espinosa could injure them while he was driving his vehicle, this argument is weak because he appeared to be attempting to comply with the officers' conflicting orders, and he clearly did not pose a threat once he was in handcuffs and attempting to get in the back of the cruiser. Likewise, while the officers may assert that Mr. Espinosa was attempting to evade arrest by starting to drive away and not immediately stopping his vehicle after they ordered him to stop, Mr. Espinosa appeared to drive away to comply with the order to leave the traffic stop, not to resist or evade arrest, and he immediately began to pull his vehicle back over to the side of the road once the officers ordered him to stop. Based on these factors, it is likely the court would find that the use of a taser in this situation was unreasonable, particularly once Mr. Espinosa was already handcuffed.
If anything, he was doing the right thing by moving the car back on the sidewalk so it's not in nobody's way. Remember, they were saying, like, it's only an issue if you blocking, like, you obstructing what's going on, you feel me? He moved his car out the way. Now there won't be no traffic. The only person that's causing traffic right now is the police, if you ask me.
Get out the car, stop the car, stop the car. He runs it while I'm holding on to the car. So I had him at gunpoint. Then he puts the car in reverse, backs up almost hits every car while I'm still holding on to the car. And we tried getting him out of the car, and he had the car in drive, and he accelerated, but he didn't go nowhere.
Get him out, and he was refusing, and then when we tried to put him in, he was refusing. So I tased him, and then I tried to get him out to pat search him and get his wallet because he wouldn't tell me anything. And then that's when you rolled up.
Okay.
I'm gonna get him over to the jail.
After Mr. Espinosa's arrest, Lieutenant Trujillo allegedly deactivated his body camera and did not reactivate it for the remainder of the encounter. According to Mr. Espinosa's lawsuit, an ambulance arrived on the scene to take Mr. Espinosa to the hospital. But Lieutenant Trujillo chose instead to personally transport Mr. Espinosa to the Los Animas County Jail, where the medical personnel from the ambulance informed Lieutenant Trujillo that Mr. Espinosa must be taken to the hospital before he could be admitted to the jail. Allegedly, Mr. Espinosa then requested that the ambulance transport him to the hospital, but Lieutenant Trujillo denied his request and took Mr. Espinosa himself. After his arrest, Mr. Espinosa spent 1 day in jail before being released. He was charged with various offenses, including resisting arrest and assault on a peace officer, but on December 6, 2022, the charges were dismissed by the district attorney's office and the records were sealed. On April 29, 2023, Mr. Espinosa filed a federal lawsuit against Lieutenant Trujillo, Deputy Noel, and others, as well as the Los Animas County Board of...
Nah, we're gonna stop it there, you feel me? If I want to go watch the rest of this, y'all can go watch it. But now that's really crazy, though. They said assault. He got assault on it. What? That's crazy. How you get assault? He didn't even pay his hand on. Now, one person. He was corroborating the whole time, to be honest. Instead of... Only time he didn't corroborate was in the beginning when they was telling him to leave. He was not jacking it. But once they let his son go, he's ready to go. And they just made it a whole big scene. They created the situation, you feel me? Now look at them. Now they getting sued, retards. But, you feel me? I'm gonna end it off because I'm getting tired right now. You feel me? I gotta edit this video, get it out to y'all. So, I hope you like this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Turn that post notification bell on to never miss a video. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all read y'all laws. Don't get caught by these cops. Yo.